Hi, my name is Kelsey Durham, and I'm here to speak about the effects that inactivity in the workplace may have on the body and the health risks that can occur. These risks range from less severe to potentially very severe, and we will discuss some ways to prevent these risks. Next slide, please. Attention headache is generally a mild to moderate pain in your head that's often described as feeling like a tight band. Attention headache is the most common type of headache, and yet its causes are not well understood. Some of the potential health risks include cold hands, cold feet, varicose veins, swollen ankles and feet, swollen veins, skin discoloration, leg pain, foot pain, and aching bones and joints. Next slide, please. Along with these less severe risks, they can contribute to a potentially more serious risk of developing what is considered blood clotting in your legs. The blood clot issue related to excessive computer use has its own name in the medical circle and is commonly referred to as e-thrombosis. E-thrombosis is a newly recognized variant of deep venous thrombosis, or DVT, which is caused by sitting at a computer for long periods of time. Thrombosis is the development of a blood clot or a thrombus in the heart or a blood vessel, which then puts the victim at risk for embolism, which is the obstruction of blood flow. Whether standing up for long periods of time or sitting down, changing positions regularly and stretching every hour or two can prevent many of these milder symptoms. The human body does not cope well with being in the same position hour after hour. Next slide, please. Some of the major risks associated with inactivity are breast and colon cancer, cardiovascular disease, and type 2 diabetes. Inactivity was found to be the main cause of about a quarter of breast and colon cancers, 27% of diabetes cases, and 30% of heart disease cases. One study by researchers at the Harvard School of Public Health took into account published scientific studies dating from 1970 all the way to 2011 and found that collectively, the data from those studies reveal a clear correlation between more than 2 hours of sitting time and risk factors for type 2 diabetes as well as cardiovascular disease. Next slide, please. Type 2 diabetes is a lifelong chronic disease in which there are high levels of sugar or glucose in the blood. Type 2 diabetes is the most common form of diabetes. In a healthy person, the pancreas, which is the organ behind the stomach, releases insulin to help the body store and use the sugar from the food that you eat. People with type 2 diabetes produce insulin, unlike those with type 1 diabetes. However, the insulin that their pancreas secretes is either not enough or the body is unable to recognize the insulin and use it properly, which is considered insulin resistance. When there isn't enough insulin or the insulin is not used as it should be, glucose, which is sugar, cannot get into the body's cells and builds up in the bloodstream instead. When glucose builds up in the blood instead of going into cells, it causes damages in multiple areas of the body. Next slide, please. There are many risk factors associated with coronary heart disease and stroke. Some risk factors, such as family history, ethnicity, and age, cannot be changed. Other risk factors that can be treated or changed include tobacco exposure, high blood pressure or hypertension, high cholesterol, obesity, physical inactivity, diabetes, and unhealthy diets, and harmful use of alcohol. The term heart disease refers to several types of heart conditions, the most common being coronary artery disease or atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis is the hardening of the arteries, which occurs when fat, cholesterol, and other substances build up on the artery walls and form what are called plaques. Cerebrovascular disease is a group of brain dysfunctions related to diseases of the blood vessels supplying the brain. A stroke occurs when blood flow to part of the brain stops. Next slide, please. It should be no surprise that inactivity contributes to becoming overweight or obese. Clearly, the inactivity of sitting for prolonged periods of time burns fewer calories, and most people are likely not cutting down on the calories that they're consuming just because they're sitting for so long. In fact, they're probably snacking more often. So this positive calorie balance will increase the amount of adipose tissue found in the body. Researchers at Tel Aviv University found that the pre-adipocyte cells, which are the cells in the body that turn into fat cells, will actually transform into fat cells faster when they are put under long periods of mechanical stretching loads. This means that one could try and cut calories, but if they plan to continue sitting behind that desk for 3 or 4 hour stretches at a time without a single break, the odds are pretty good that there will be some major junk in the trunk. Overall, there are major risks related to being sedentary in the workplace, but these risks may be alleviated by taking breaks to get active.